So today I'll be talking about factors affecting the fertility. Okay. So see, uh, like I said already, so infertility has been a very long-standing problem. Even it was there since ancient period, but in last 2 to 3 years, we have observed that there is so much of decline in the uh, fertility rate. Especially 30% of women have low ovarian reserve, and approximately 15% of men have absolutely no sperm. This is the data, recent data. Then, as per ISAR reports, 41% of male infertility accounts to the poor sperm count, and 40% of the infertility cases in women, it is because of the PCOD. These are the common conditions. That is why understanding the infertility, the factors affecting the infertility is very, very important. So, what is infertility? So, infertility is nothing but a condition wherein the reproductive system defined by the failure. So there will be no achievement of clinical pregnancy even after 12 months, that is, or 1 year or more of unprotected sexual intercourse. So even after 1 year of continuous unprotected sexual intercourse, if the couple is not able to get conceived, then that is called infertility. I'll not go in detail because my topic is more of on the factors. So before knowing the causes, what are the common causes, just to give you the few details. So the male, actually, according to the latest survey, so the male is directly responsible around 30 to 40% of the infertility cases, and female ratio is more, 40 to 55% of the cases it will be with the female. And sometimes both are responsible. Both, either she will be having PCOD or hypothyroidism or any fibroid uterus or something, any gynecological problem. And men also will have. So together as a couple, around 10% of the cases you will get. So it is that common. And 10% they say they would have put as unexplained infertility. So this is the general what the criteria, sorry, not the data, what we have currently. So what are the male factors? So I'll not go into the complete pathological part or something in this class. In future classes you will be dealt about in detail all those things. So common conditions affecting the male infertility are defective spermatogenesis, obstruction of the efferent duct system, failure to deposit sperm high in vagina, error, either there will be some error in the seminal fluid. Then there can also be systemic defects like age, obesity, tobacco, alcohol, diabetes, then excessive heat during due to wearing the tight innerwears and all. When coming to the immunological factors, you can see that presence of immobilizing or agglutinating anti-sperm antibodies. Then there can be coital dysfunction, that is erectile dysfunctions, either premature ejaculations or erectile dysfunction itself. Then any sperm defects, then endocrinal, either related to hypothalamic or hypogonadism, hypothyroidism, and some other pathological conditions like chromosomal or orchitis, strict testes, ductal occlusion, etc. Okay, these are the male factors. In female factors, it depends. There could be vaginal factor, there could be uterine factor, there could be tubal factors, peritoneal, ovarian, coital errors again, then cervical factors. These all can be the common.
Ma'am,
So,
do we have
sorry?
ma'am, do we have the treatment for anti-sperm antibody? There's one problem.
Sure, we'll have to see what is the overall case condition, everything. Depending on that, again, Shodhana and all, but that will be dealt later, doctor. Today, I'm just talking about the factors affecting which you have to know that because this is the basic foundation before starting the treatment. I'm not going to the individual causative factor of the pathology, all those things, or treatment part today. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
When that topic is dealt, or maybe end of the session, I will explain you about it. Okay. So in Ayurveda also about Vandyatya, they have given a lot of importance. You get so many references, right? So it was there since thousands of years. but only since because of the lifestyle, now the prevalence is more. So you all know, if there is infertility, how the patient goes through the, there will be social pressure, there will be anxiety, there will be, so much of depression or so much of stress when a couple come to you. Because see, it is like, they feel also embarrassed. They feel like useless if there is infertility. There will be a lot of mental trauma. Okay, already there is existing underlying cause already. Along with this, after facing this infertility issue, they will further go into mental this one. Because in Ayurveda they say, if they, an infertile person is compared to a tree which is devoid of fruit and shade. The tree cannot give any shade, any shadow, or any fruit. Such is means waste. The person is not useful. So that is how they have compared to. So that is why treating the infertility is very, very important. And especially when they come to Ayurveda, it would have been, years of suffering already. Okay, because any genetic morbidity also, like you said, antibody, this also definitely it can be handled. It may be challenging, it may be tough. Even if there is involvement of any genetic or any antibody or any other pathology, except for few cases like azoospermia and all, no, most of the factors, including even female tubal blocks also, when compared to other system, we are able to treat effectively. Again, it depends. See, infertility always depends on multiple factors. Okay, very simple example. Most of the cases, even which I will see, there will be no, the couple will not spend time together only. When we ask, when like how frequently you have the physical contact, monthly thrice they will tell. How is it even possible, right? It is very, very difficult. And also because of infertility, uh, even the couple may have fallouts, even they can end with the divorce and all. So when they come for the treatment, we have so much of responsibility as a doctor, as a medical part, as a social part also, to the community. We have to give the betterment for the society. So that's why it becomes very, very important. Then other female factors, I'm just telling superficially, I'm not going in detail, because this will be dealt individually later. So anovulation, this is one of the common cause. It comes under ovarian. Whatever few more points which are included in this, which are more common, I have mentioned here. Okay, so anovulation, endocrine related, there will be amenorrhea, hypothyroidism, hyperprolactinemia, then androgenism, then premature menopause. Nowadays, see, a female will get married very late, right? After 30, uh, usually 30 only they will get married. Because of the stress, the female are also ending up with a premature menopause. Earlier, the standard or an average menopause period was like around 50 years. When women was around 40, after 48 to 50 years, women used to get the menopause. But nowadays, 40s, the ladies who are in 40s, I have seen myself in my relatives and friends, they've already attained menopause. 40 to 42 years and all, they're attaining the menopause. So that's why very, very challenging. The scenario itself is very, very challenging. And sexual dysfunction, lack of libido because of so much of stress, then infrequent sex, vaginismus, then dyspareunia, exhaustion. So these all things are very common. Then systemic age, already obesity, tobacco, and psychological. So what happens nowadays, this medical part, this again, it will be dealt later. In general only, I'm telling you, these are all very common. It's a common sense that we have to, make them understand, patient understand. The female will tell, I have had patients who had lack of libido and all. The couple, they had come for some other treatment. After a few days, when that problem got resolved, they started opening up, and they told that they are planning for the baby and all. And then I think last class also I told or not, I don't know. Then after 2-3 consultations also they didn't tell me directly. But husband, after going back home, one day he called and told, wife is shy, hesitant because of some trauma, childhood trauma. She is not having physical contact. She's hesitant. Then I had to do 2 to 3 counseling to the female. After that, they got conceived within 1 month only. So you'll have to check whether there is any lack of interest, or the frequency of sex is not happening, vaginismus is there, dyspareunia. You have to educate them, or exhaustion. Especially, see, both are equally stressed, men and women. But female are more stressed because they have to handle multitasks. Okay, they have to take care of the home, they have to take care of the family members, they have to take care of the work. They are expected to do, all the work. They have to balance so much when compared to men. So definitely female will be not much interested, or there will be lack of the physical intimacy. So that is where you have to educate them. Then age, see, according to Ayurveda, what is the ideal age for the marriage? Can anybody tell, if you all know?
Mom, 16 for girls, 21 for boys.
Yes. Acharya Sushruta says 15 for girls and 21 for boys. There are various other references also wherein you have told 12 years also for girls and 18 to 19 years for boys. If you all have, seen in your villages or native places, you might have seen in your childhood days, if you remember, there in the village and all, as soon as the girl gets matured, or there is a menarche, they will get married. Okay, earlier, or your grandmother or grandparents, if you ask the story and all, when she was married 12 years or 14 years, such was the thing. See, then the lifestyle was totally different. The role of women was totally different. Just looking after the family, confined to the house, and reproduction was one of the things. Definitely your grandparents had at least 10 kids minimum. At least grandmother would have conceived 10 times, maybe 1 or 2 deaths or something. At least live 5 to 6 children would have been live. Like for our generation, we would have had 3-4 auntie uncles for sure. But now starting from our generation or our next generation, even getting one kid is very, very tough, because of one of the major factor is age. Okay, you have to tell the patients whenever they're coming to you, educate about this also. Many will come with the gynecological disorders, but when you ask, are they planning for the kid, they'll tell, no, 2 more years, I'm getting settled. But in a subtle way, I think you can educate them the importance, because first of all, they are getting married at 28-30 nowadays. Even gone are those days when they are getting married at 23-24 and all. Now 28-30, getting married itself is a big thing. So after marriage, again, they want to settle down. That is the one reason. Career also, female will think there will be, a gap again after a child and all. Or maybe no one will be there to look after because of the nuclear family. So many factors, personal reasons. So they'll be holding on to, have kids. So furthermore delayed, already delayed marriage, and their delayed planning. Definitely. See, one thing is actually conception. To be, to be frank, or to be honest, it is a natural process. It should not be planned, never be planned. God has given us a wonderful, especially women, a blessing, a gift. Okay, so you should educate them the need of the hour. If youngsters, okay, fine, let them take some time, 1 or 2. If the patient is 20 or 21, that is fine. But age factor is very, very important. Then obesity, you all know, definitely the reason. Tobacco and psychological, I'll be telling in detail in next slides, coming slides. So there are again other pathological defects. This you will be studying in detail. There could be tendrous hymen, cervical stenosis can be there, intracervical fibrous obstruction, then TB, endometriosis, or fibroid, polyp, so many things. And immunological, so sometimes there will be presence of anti-sperm antibodies also in cervical mucus. There can be secondary causes as like there can be some scar or additions, endometrial tuberculosis. So many other factors in past, some post MTP, corneal block, something, this could be the reason also. Now coming to the major part, Ayurvedic view about infertility, right? So what is the basic requirement or Garbhotpatikara bhavas? Ritu, Kshetra, Bija, Ambu. So these are the 4 important factors which are required for the conception, right? So for a human being to have a healthy progeny, so Ritu, Kshetra, Bija, Ambu are the basic and most essential requirements. All these 4 should be in a healthy condition. Okay, then only the easy conception will be there. Okay, easy conception as well as good quality progeny. See, everybody now, yeah, they want only one kid, but they want the baby to be very healthy, very intelligent, very smart, everything. See, just the having the desire is not sufficient. You have to tell the patients, right? Everyone want their kids to be, super smart, excel in the, because so competitive, world is so competitive. Their kid has to excel in the studies. He should know the sports. He should equally participate in the sports, cultural activities, everything, and also should have a healthy kid, right? But this cannot happen without the basic requirement from the parents. If the parents are not disciplined, if the parents are not healthy, so then how can they have the kids, healthy kids or smart kids? And so beautifully, when we talk about infertility or even in fact garbha samskara, so garbha samskara is not just about pregnancy, garbhini paricharya, right? It is before also. Preconception is there, then conception period is there, then the pregnancy and postpartum care. So Garbha Samskara includes all these things. Such a beauty our Ayurveda is. Okay, we are not confined to just one thing. And right from the marriage itself, wedding itself, you see, you can do in your centers, you can give the talks. You can, this is one trick wherein you can attract the patients by or promote yourself. You are thorough, suppose after this course or doing a lot of other studies and all, you become expert in infertility treatment. Yes, but how to reach the patients? So that is where I'm telling will help you. So always, have the, talks, repeated talks, give the awareness to the patient, because this is the need of the hour. Just having male infertility low, less sperm, or motility is a problem, or female is having an ovulatory cycle or PCOD, yes, that they will know by the investigation, everything. But for the treatment to happen, it is very, very important for you to educate about this preconception thing also. Okay, Garbhotpatikara bhava is very, very important. So in that bija, okay, all other things like Kshetra and bija, now we will discuss in detail. So especially when talking about, bija or ovum or sperm problems, bija apagata, it is usually what Ayurveda says is Shita Ruksha Alpa Sanklishta Viruddhahara Ajirna Bojana. Then Shoka, Chinta, Bhaya, Trasa, Ativyavaya, Abhichara, and also Panchakarma Apachara. So these are all the causative factors. Even Ativyavaya is also one of the causative factor. So note that. And like I already told about the age factor. Excuse me. Acharya Sushruta has mentioned marital age for male as 25 years and female, because this is more appropriate. Other acharyas have told even 12 years for female. That is not practically possible nowadays.